Welcome, Praxis. How are you doing? Yeah? Alright. What is going on, everybody? Hope, of course, you are all doing very great. Welcome to I Can't Believe People Still Talk to Each Other.
Why do they do that?
Why do they do that?
I don't understand
Why do
it.
people do this shit? I wish people would stop talking to each other. It's high time. Everyone do your part and stop talking to
each other.
It's really, at some point, we gotta, like, as a people, say this has gone far enough. And where the camera is?
I'm just stopping talking to each other.
Oh.
You know, that doesn't even work.
Unfortunately, well, we'll see what happens. If we succeed in destroying language, the show may or may not.
We're certainly going to try.
It may be a self-fulfilling, you are of course familiar with Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Right.
You're familiar with Destrato, the death urge, the opposite of libido.
Right.
The urge to destroy not only oneself, but the world as well.
Around them.
Yeah. Like, destroy language 2020. Raven was at a local Pride event and so many moms had a shirt that said they would give mom hugs. That's awesome. That's a good use of language. Our topic tonight is the Joneses. I'm familiar with some concept in America that's something about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes.
People want to tell, what does that mean?
That is when you see your neighbor's car and it is larger and more luxurious than yours. And so you go and get a credit card.
Yeah.
And you spend a lot of money you don't have on a bigger car so that you can make them spend more money they don't have on a bigger car. And then it just spirals into giant behemoths in everybody's driveway.
It sounds to me like that's what the Lizard Man want us to be doing.
Right? Yes.
I don't recommend coveting your neighbor's
Jones.
Cards. Jones.
Just don't covet your neighbor's Jones.
But there are but we of course are pop culture historians, and we are talking about Joneses in popular culture.
Well, the Joneses in popular culture are like...
This is not the Bob stream. This is the Jones stream.
A whole bunch of different things. They're either completely mundane.
They are?
Or borderline stupid.
Joneses,
yeah. I mean, the Joneses that I've seen today or experienced today,
yeah,
I wouldn't call any of them particularly like low IQ stupid, but they do lots of really dumb things.
Indiana Jones picks up a cursed statue like all the time.
He tries to get himself killed.
He gets run over by boulders
every 10 minutes.
He falls into snake pits. He gets his dick caught in, like, the ancient stone dick crushing machine.
And he, like, tries to, ancient grinders, and then, like, the walls start
like,
closing in on him.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Like, he's searching around in these places where there are obviously traps.
He's never even met his nephew, Michael. Mike Jones?
Mike Jones is...
Davy Jones is a great Jones.
Oh, Davy Jones. I forgot entirely about Davy Jones.
How did we not talk about Davy Jones? I, was Davy Jones one time. In a video game, I put tentacles in my beard. Dude, I love Davy. My name's Davy. Not really.
It can be if you wanted to.
It could if my name could be anything I wanted it to be. It's 2019.
Truth.
Did you see Indiana Jones Part 4?
Part 4? I saw the, what is it, the Ark?
The Ark was the first movie.
The Lost Ark. I saw that one, and I saw the second one, I think, but I don't think I saw 4.
The Temple of Doom.
Oh, Temple of Doom. Yeah, I saw Doom.
There's lots of...
Where they're having, like, blood sacrifices in the, like, cavern.
They're pulling people's hearts.
Yeah, okay. I remember that
Third one has Sean Connery.
His father.
The Last Crusade.
Okay.
His father.
I believe I saw that, too. Actually.
Okay. The fourth one has Shia LaBeouf, your favorite. It's got aliens. It's called The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There's CGI monkeys in it.
I thought I saw a trailer for that.
Oh, he nukes the nuke. Are you familiar with the term nuking the fridge? Davy Jones from the Monkees. Yeah, I like that guy too. I like the Monkees. I am a daydream believer.
Wow.
I couldn't leave her.
Look at this normal man.
Who? Davy Jones? Is that Davy Jones?
That is a Davy Jones.
Or that's it. I feel like I was looking at that picture of Davy Jones. Oh no, it's because we're gonna see a picture of Austin Powers that looks a lot like that.
Yeah.
Of Davy Jones. So you know about nuking the fridge?
Wait, is that when you put shit in the fridge and then like it just spoils everything? Period. Or does it like cause like a really formaldehyde type smell that like actually kills people if they open the fridge?
Are you talking about putting radioactive material into a refrigerator?
I don't know. What does he find in those temples? He finds like cursed items that would. Like...
In the fourth movie, he gets into an atomic bomb is going to land on him.
What?
And so what he does is he climbs into a refrigerator.
And he survives the atomic bomb.
You see the atomic bomb. You see you see a shot from far away, and the fridge comes hurtling towards the camera. Like there's a man inside of it. But it's like flying through the air and bouncing across the desert, and it pops open.
And Indiana Jones comes out. That's
the fourth movie. And they're making a fifth one.
I thought they already made like another one, like a young one.
No. Well, they made a TV show called Young.
Oh, it was young. Oh, it was TV show. Okay. They're making a fifth one, huh? It's not going to have Harrison in it.
It is going to have Harrison in it. They're making Harrison
is he going to be old and crotchety again?
Fifth. What?
Is he going to be old and crotchety again? Like his last movie that he was in.
How could he?
When he was in Star Wars, he was old and crotchety.
He can't not be old and crotchety at this point.
It's wonderful.
This is why I feel like we should just stop making. I don't know. I feel like.
I mean,
I don't know.
Even if we're talking about like reliving things that should have never been remade from 30 years ago,
a lot of things should not be remade.
A lot of things should not be remade, and that is one of them.
You glad that there's a Shining remake or a sequel getting made?
He was crotchety in Blade Runner too.
Break time.
Do you know a lot about Marvel Comics?
Sure.
What do you know about Rick Jones?
He's a singer, right?
I think he is. Rick Jones was out on the nuclear testing range like an idiot.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne like pushed him out of the way or something.
Bruce Wayne did that.
Bruce Wayne.
And there was some villain that was causing random effects.
This is complicated.
Stupid, right? Okay, but the villain was causing chaos. Random things were happening instead of what was expected to happen. The Rick Jones is trying to call the Fantastic Four. And instead of the Fantastic Four, he gets Ant-Man, the Wasp, Thor, and Iron Man.
So like most of the Avengers.
No, that was it. That's the origin of the Avengers.
Oh. When they thaw Captain America from the ice in Avengers 4 or 5, whatever.
Yeah.
What had he been frozen for several years since the 50s, or had he been frozen since World War II? This might not be totally accurate, but it was something.
It's cool to talk about shit and not know anything about it.
Well, yeah, we all know bits and pieces of things, right?
Yeah, that's what this whole show is about.
I want a show with Chris Evans as Captain America in the 1950s with Sharon Carter called The Weird Tales of Captain America, like crime stories and like romance and like weird stories and sort of like horror stories with Captain America and Peggy Carter. Did I say Sharon Carter? Peggy Carter in the 1950s.
Who's Sharon Carter?
That's her, like, great niece or something.
Yeah.
Granddaughter.
Blonde?
Something.
Bucky died? Captain America took Bucky's uniform and he dressed up Rick Jones as Bucky and he started calling Rick Bucky.
That's bizarre,
right? Doesn't that sound unhealthy to you?
Yeah,
like that. I think that was the Captain America that was in Hydra, probably.
Oh God, that sounds like it.
Rick Jones and Captain Marvel are quantum entangled. Only one of them can exist at once.
Wait. So unlike Shazam, it's not like a person that gains superpowers. It's a person.
No, Shazam is also a different person. Shazam is like a child. He's like, oh, but does he become a big buff man?
Yeah, like Tom.
And
Hanks
then the buff
Big.
man acts like a child. You know what the Beyonder did? He took all the heroes and the villains and put them on Battle World and made them fight.
Oh, Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just goes around and plays games and fucks with people.
He's a turd.
But he met Rick Jones, and Rick Jones had cancer, and the Beyonder was like, "Yo, fuck, you're Rick Jones. You can't have cancer. You're cured."
Seriously?
Yeah.
The Beyonder cured
The
Rick
Beyonder
Jones
was
of
just
cancer?
like, "You're fine, Rick Jones."
Wow, Rick Jones is a badass motherfucker.
Rick Jones wrote an autobiography, and he called it Sidekick. Rick Jones is
Does
great.
that book exist?
I wish it would.
Yeah, what if
Someone
they
should
actually
write it.
published that? That would
Holy
be
shit,
great.
yeah. About 10 years ago, Captain America, I think maybe at the end of the first Civil War story, the first comic series called Civil War. Now there's like Civil War 2, there's Secret War Civil War, there's like a couple other Civil War comics. I think in the first one, Captain America is killed at the end. His pallbearers were Ben Grimm, Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers, the Falcon, the Black Panther, Tony Stark, and you guessed it, Rick Jones. So I'm gonna have to tell
Which
you.
doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna have to tell you about Rick Jones because, in order to start, basically, if I wanted to start talking about comic books and covering comics, one of the first things we have to talk about is Rick Jones. You want to sing a song about Rick Jones?
We should sing a song about Rick Jones.
Okay, how
We
does it
should
go?
celebrate Rick Jones.
Can we just go over? If anyone wants to sing along, it goes Rick Jones. Are we just gonna? He's iron tough. Rick Jones. He saves your bum. And then he'll cut you up.
He'll cut you up.
Okay, and then something about being normal as fuck.
That's the end.
All right. Okay, Rick Jones song. Ladies and we decided we were doing this
What? Oh, like 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes before we began.
Rick Jones, he's iron and tough. Rick Jones, he saves your butt. Rick Jones, he'll cut you up. Rick Jones. Rick Jones, you can't get enough. Rick Jones, best friends with the whole. Rick Jones.
I don't even know if we're going close to like where the song is.
I don't either. Rick Jones. Normal as fuck.
Rick Jones is the man. So I read the comic about Captain Marvel, and I don't even know what to say about it. Right before, because this is what I wanted to talk about, and like I'm talking about. If anyone is curious, I'm talking about Captain Marvel Volume 5, I think from 2002 to 2004 was an incredible run of comics and featuring Rick Jones. And it has a lot to do with choice and good guys and bad guys and gods and monsters. There's a great line from Janice Vell, Captain Marvel, that is the thing about good guys and bad guys is that they're all just guys.
He's a really normal guy.
Rick Jones is famous.
He's
That's like
incredibly
his
normal.
superpower is that he is a normal guy.
And okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
You described in one of those videos that the Captain Marvel and Rick Jones are quantumly entangled.
Yes.
What the hell does that mean?
There's a quantum realm, right?
Okay.
There's like another place. In the movies, if you're familiar with the MCU, Ant-Man goes into the quantum realm, and that's how they're able to figure out time travel.
Okie dokie.
But in this quantum realm, and it's sometimes called the microverse, it's sometimes called the negaverse, maybe. That might be called... The negaverse might be a DC thing, or that might even be the Transformers, I don't know. But there's like, it's either a quantum realm, or a microverse, or or some other place. So...
Why them?
They have these nega bands made out of negative gold.
A silver string?
And they both wear them, but there's only one, but they're both wearing them. Or like, I think like...
Oh, so it's an artifact.
Or if two people touch them, yeah.
Oh, if it's an
They
artifact,
become
okay.
entangled or something. So Rick Jones is in the microverse. And Janice is in our universe.
Right.
Let's do it the other way around. Have you ever been quantumly entangled with someone? I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question yet.
We'll eventually get there, but I don't know what it feels like to be quantumly entangled with somebody.
I've never been quantumly entangled. This world is quantumly entangled with sorrow.
and you must destroy everything beautiful.
Yeah, so I don't even know if I'm using the word quantumly entangled correctly. But anyway, only one of them can be in the real world.
To an extent you are, because only one of them can be in the world at the same time, at one time.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so this artifact that they wear that causes them to be quantumly entangled.
I think it was invented by the Kree.
Right, who they killed.
Who killed?
Didn't they kill in a giant war against the Kree?
Well, he's
a normal dude.
The Skrulls are like
the Skrulls. I think I'm mixing up the Kree with the Skrulls.
Okay, yeah. So the Kree were like not necessarily always enemies of the humans, but they were like they definitely were like
they gave them technology.
They were not allies of us.
Oh.
Genis or Marvel. Check this out. Do you know why he was called Captain Marvel? Because it's funny because the whole company's called Marvel, right?
That's kind of where I thought it came from.
Well, I mean, sort of. But his name is Captain
Marvel.
Marvel. Of the Kree. All of the Kree have stupid names like Marvel and Jan Rog and Genis Bell, right? So,
God damn it. What is it? Stan Lee?
Stan Lee, the Kree. Yeah. About Captain Marvel Volume 5 is so good. It's so much about choice and either being a hero or, you know, the refusal of the call, and about just the absolute terror of the ramifications of your actions, especially as a superpowered person.
So it's Evangelion.
Who has big ramifications. Everything is
Evangelion.
Dude, everything is goddamn Evangelion. Yo, it's on Netflix. If you have never watched Evangelion, when I'm in charge, you're not going to be allowed to get away with that.
Don't elect him for anything.
Because you'll have to watch Evangelion.
Yeah, not only that, you'll have to watch it once a year at least.
Yeah, once a year. Everyone, yeah.
And it has to be like The Purge. Binge watched.
It'll be like The Purge. And it really will have the
just
same
like
effect.
The Purge. Yeah.
It'll have the same effect as The Purge
and
also. Half of
the entire country will be depressed.
Yeah.
For like
fucking disaster.
12 days.
Wanted to start because, but I do like the thing about the blind elephants. Do you remember in Vampire the Masquerade? Anyway, I'll tell you about that later. Wow. We'll talk about Vampire the Masquerade at some point. But this is at a point where he has a choice. He can either go to a battlefield and save like hundreds of people, or he can go and save this one woman who's being murdered. And he goes to the battlefield to fight this battle. And afterwards, you can't be banned. And the president. Nope. But he realizes after fighting the battle that the girl that he did not save was very important. And it all spills out of him. It all presents itself to him. All the threads of the tapestry intertwining with one another. It's cheesy, but I really like how this comic is written.
It's pretty classic.
I'm going to read this whole thing, and we're going to review the entire... It's like 25 issues. It's dark as fuck. We might not talk about it.
Some of the stories you told me are...
Some of it is very dark.
Very, very dark.
Some of it is extremely dark. This girl, this alien girl, the one he did not save, when she reached adulthood, had she lived, that is... to have reached adulthood, her rough childhood, her own brushes with death would have forged her into the greatest peacemaker in the history of the known galaxy. There's an earthquake hitting in Tokyo, and on Alpha Gamma 3, a traffic accident is about to claim the life of an innocent boy. If he doesn't die, becomes a mass murderer. The Banner like he starts seeing all of the different fucking timelines and shit. And this is so good. I really like this part of the end of the first issue. I really recommend this book. Again, like in the future when I'm more prepared, I'll have like links for Amazon to show you guys like this in trade paperback and stuff. But I love this when this is Rick Jones talking about what's going on in Captain Marvel's mind. And
so because they're quantumly entangled, they can read each other's minds.
They're always in
communication.
In communication with each other.
Okay.
I know one phrase of Latin, exactly one. I don't know why I remember it. The nuns in the orphanage where I grew up taught it to us as part of a class on ancient history. It goes, Quem deus vult perder dementant prius. I probably did that incorrectly. Whom the gods wish to ruin, they first drive mad. That's the first issue of the 2002 to 2004 Volume 5 of Captain Marvel. I highly recommend it. I'm going to read the whole thing.
You can't drive Rick Jones mad.
Rick Jones gets driven mad in this book.
Does he start eating people?
This book goes off the fucking rails. It's so
I heard
good.
there's a lot of killing.
There's a lot of killing in this. It's very terrible. But I'm gonna read all of that, and we are gonna review that, and that's gonna be cool. Ever get in trouble for laughing too much? Don't answer that question.
Break time.
You told me a story about getting in trouble for laughing too hard.
And I thought about it, and there was one of them was when I was in a friend's basement,
Yes.
and she was trying to tell everyone to be quiet. I don't know why.
Weren't like her
And-
parents had come home, or the police were there, or there was something. There was some
Her
legitimate
mother
trouble.
definitely like was coming into the room or something. Her mother was there.
Yeah, and
Her
there
mother
was
involved. And
yeah. Everyone was
was
going to be in trouble. You were young.
She was trying to get everyone to shut up, and I was on the phone with Kenny.
Oh,
And
good. Oh,
Kenny
yes.
Kenny
Yes.
was telling me that he had just driven through. He had just been driving through Bridgeport and accidentally drove through a murder scene.
Yes.
And had driven over the murder weapon and destroyed it.
Are you really going there? Do you really want to go there?
You don't have to answer any of
Do
these
you
questions.
really want to hear
These are
about
all
30
optional.
39.5 degrees?
What does that mean?
It's a protractor emergency. Do you know what a protractor emergency is?
I know what a protractor is.
We're going to go on a movie that involves Christopher Lloyd.
I like him.
It's a
Oh.
children's movie. The Oogie Loves in their Big Top Adventure.
The Oogie
It's,
Loves.
it's the Hot Balloon Adventure or something. I don't know. If you look up the Oogie Loves and it's a movie.
I have an answer for the last movie that made me laugh until I wept.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It was it was the second Austin Powers movie.
Yeah.
With Heather Graham. I have a video of Robin laughing.
Will you send it to me after
We
this?
are- Yes.
That's
it's
perfect.
I think it's when Fat Bastard is introduced for the first time.
Okay.
It's like so shocking to see. Like, how did that happen?
The scene where he's naked and greasy and like covered in chicken and corn.
No, I used to get in trouble all the time because my parents have a very passive-aggressive way of fighting that I find hilarious because other people can't tell that they're fighting. They think that they're just being like all cutesy with each other, and I'll sometimes like laugh hysterically while they're doing that, and they'll get really mad and say, "It's not funny," but it is
Wow.
really funny.
I feel a little bad laughing.
And
your reaction was to laugh so hard.
oh my god, I laughed so fucking hard because I wanted everyone to hear this story. I laughed hard enough to get everyone's attention.
Yeah, you were like, you guys, everyone needs to know about this.
I'm seriously
Whether you like
thinking
it or
of
not,
something
you're
like,
hearing about this
you,
one.
You guys all need to hear this story. And oh, she was so fucking mad at me.
They can't step on the lawn, so they have to get into his magical sombrero with this incredibly hot like samba dancing woman, and they like dance the salsa with the castanets and everything, and that's how they power the sombrero to get over the keep off the grass to get to the big tower, which is where the balloon is that they're trying to get.
Like when we went to see South Park, I was so high that when they started
The Uncle Fucker
singing
song?
Uncle Fucker, I
Yeah.
actually panicked.
Yeah, no.
And I considered
that
running
was
out of the theater.
Pretty
it was
funny.
It was so funny. I was screaming. People in the theater were just screaming.
I think after seeing This Is My Boomstick, I kind of broke out laughing a little bit too hard, but that was kind of intended.
In the Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
You ever wake someone up laughing? I want you to tell me about getting in trouble for laughing too loud.
Oh, I was the manager of a pet store, or I should say pet supply store. We didn't sell pets, just supplies.
Okay.
And I just got promoted to manager at another store, and me and the manager that had trained me were there, and we were sitting kind of like in the back of the room.
Okay.
And like this is like it's fine, but it's like retail, so you're like a manager making like $15 an hour, or some kind of bullshit like that. So I didn't really give too much of a shit about it. But
yeah.
I can't remember. Somebody said something, and I started to giggle, and then she started to laugh, and then we laughed. So we just kept on laughing, and we're like in this managers meeting for everybody in the
Yeah.
And their manager's like giving us dirty looks, like, why you can't you control yourself? And this is like a 60-year-old, 65-year-old pot smoking hippie woman that I'm laughing with.
That rules.
I don't know what his position was. I can't remember. I think a regional director or something like that. Or he's like, you two need to control yourself, or do you need to leave? And I was like, no, I think I can control myself.
That's amazing. That's the first story someone has told me where they got in trouble at work.
It is actually I will tell you to the T, the number of degrees that he says that he actually has to lean over to not fall down and still grab the balloon and then get down safely is exactly the degrees that he bends with your vantage point.
Did someone stand up and place a protractor against the
Yes,
television?
that is exactly that.
Why did you have a protractor?
I hang around.
Were you at a
people.
math convention?
Basically.
Oh, okay.
Not quite, but there were enough degrees in the room. There were enough engineers in the room that someone they probably had a slide rule. They probably had we had everything.
And we were all like, and if you remember, the living room is like basically right below that. And we were all down there just probably screaming.
Okay.
I don't know. I bought you a turkey sandwich in the morning because you were mad that I had screamed.
Oh God, that really worries me that I don't remember that.
It was the scene, you know the movie, right?
Yes.
It was the scene where they're behind the curtain and you can see their silhouette and Mini-Me's arm is waving around as though it is Mike Myers' penis.
Yeah.
That was the scene that made me laugh so hard that you were very unhappy. Like, those movies do not deserve to be as good as they are.
No,
those movies, they have no business being that good. Those movies have no business being that good.
It was a moment. It was a weird cultural thing that happened.
Yeah, it's insane that it happened.
But Robin had never seen it, and at the end of it, she was like, "That's pretty good."
Look at Freaky.
Yeah.
Look at my little Preekachucha. Look at my little man. What is that? I'm receiving a package. Thank you, active delivery man. Let's see what was just delivered to me. Yeah, Iggy was in a room with a lot of degrees. I've just received a mysterious package in the middle of the night. Oh my God, you were right. He told me I was gonna really like the surprise, and I do. I like this surprise a lot. It's a blueberry muffin. Tell me about, hey Prax.
Hey, what?
Where did this blueberry muffin come from?
What blueberry muffin?
Do you think
I was in the bathroom. What's up?
if I were if a man you were in the bathroom, huh?
Where did you get this blueberry muffin?
Well, oddly enough, I got it from a man dressed just like you.
What? I don't understand.
Is that what you wear when you go to the bathroom?
No, I don't. Okay, what are you looking at? You watching me in the bathroom?
It was delivered by someone who looked a lot like you. Would you eat a muffin delivered by someone who looked like?
No.
I really want to eat it. You think I should? Raven would like
the muffin.
The cake of dubious providence.
Eat the muffin.
Yeah, you think I should?
It's probably very nutritious.
This is a good muffin.
I believe that is a very good muffin.
It looks nice. It
I would-
smells very good.
I would be
I
eating-
smelled it before I saw it.
I would be eating that muffin.
I'm
I'd
gonna
be
eat
eating
this
as much of
muffin.
that muffin as I possibly could.
You want some of it?
I might have a little bite of that.
Where'd it come from? Oh, awesome. It's an awesome blueberry muffin. Do you want like half of it? Thank you so much.
Huh.
I can't believe you bought me a muffin.
I didn't bring you a fucking muffin.
Yo, what is up to you on BG? What do you
I had a pretty damn good muffin though.
what do you so now that you've had a little bit of a refresher on Mike Jones, what do you know about Mike Jones?
What do I know about him?
He plays baseball.
He plays. That's Mike Jones. Oh, Mike Jones.
Mike Jones is
Mike
a different
Jones
guy
can't-
than Rick Jones.
Mike Jones can't jump.
Mike Jones can jump very well.
I don't think he can very jump.
His
he likes
problem is that
jumping
he
in
cannot
water.
swim.
Okay, he can't swim either. Yeah, he's kind of useless. He can
This
throw
blueberry
yo-yos.
muffin is so good.
He can throw yo-yos. He can talk to old ladies in ponds.
Mike, he's on a is it
He's on a quest.
is the island called Coral Cola Island or is I'm not really
everything is cola.
I'm too
Geography is
yeah,
like overrun by Coca-Cola.
right? Is that the situation?
Yes.
Welcome to Sea Island. The C stands for Coral Cola. This is like that movie Joe versus the Volcano where a man buys an island for soda. Look at that pig butt. A man buys an island in exchange for soda. But the islanders need a man to sacrifice himself by throwing himself in the volcano. The volcano god will only be... The volcano is displeased about all the soda they're drinking. Look at that pig ass.
Yeah, it's
the
really
volcano.
big ass.
This is vulgar. The volcano god will only be satiated and not destroy the island. He's so mad about all the soda they're drinking. It's like Brondo. All right, and they need a sacrifice, so they tell the soda salesman to trick one of his low-level employees into thinking he has a brain tumor, and then he pays him because he's gonna die in a month, but it's a farce. He's like, "You're gonna die in a month? I got a great business opportunity. I'll pay you $1 million to jump in a volcano." This movie stars Tom Hanks. I don't know who else. Maybe even You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle. Is that the same lady? Oink oink, says the pig's butt.
That's a real thing.
Mike Jones throws a baseball, throws a yo-yo at your ass. Mike Jones, daydreaming in class.
Video game type. I believe
According
we're
to
gonna hear about it later.
according to Iggy, Zoda's Revenge is like straight up edutainment.
Which it's not.
I don't even understand how
How did they get away
Rick
with
Jones.
this?
I've played like a half an hour of both of those games, Star Tropics 1 and Star Tropics 2. They're Zelda clones. Like, I mean, they are
Easily.
Like, you can see even just elements and like
It's just puzzles
resources
and blocks and
from The Legend of Zelda in it. But like both of
Cobras.
those games are the slipperiest ass. Mike
No.
Jones is in the Zelda randomizer. The next time the next time you guys download a randomizer seed, I want you guys to consider Mike Jones as your choice of sprite.
thousands of them.
Huh?
Thousands of them.
Thousands of Mike
Thousands of
Joneses?
seeds.
Thousands of seeds.
Thousands. We had Mike Jones to infinity.
The next, as a matter of fact, the next time that I run a tournament, whatever type of format,
Mike
if I do anything involving Zelda seeds that I get to pick, if I ever get to force everybody to pick a sprite in Zelda, it's going to be Mike Jones.
I think the purest thing is that he's greedy.
Mike
Jones,
Why do you think he's greedy?
because he covets all the red goo.
Yeah, he does.
He really it covets the red goo and it leads to his death
It caused him to jump into the pit of death.
because he can't swim. So
Absolutely cannot swim.
the moral of the story is don't be greedy if you can't swim.
We're definitely.
But if you can swim, you can be as greedy as you want.
But really, I would urge everyone to consider using Mike Jones because in the randomizer is the only way you can play with Mike Jones and enjoy it because the Star Tropics games. I don't know. Maybe you get used to them. I don't know
Maybe
if
you
people
do
like
get
them or
used to
not,
them, but I
like,
don't
they're
see them.
notoriously clunky.
I don't see them being quite enjoyable. I recall it in hindsight not
You think
being
that you
enjoyable.
finished? You think
I
you
finished the game. I found my uncle. I rescued him.
Your uncle? Oh, Mike Jones's uncle is
Mike
Indiana
Jones's
Jones, of
uncle,
course.
yeah, and it's Sean Connery, right?
Yeah.
Or is that Rick? No.
Oh, what happened to Sean Connery? Did you find out?
Oh no,
how
Indy's.
How does Indy's father die?
Oh, I never looked.
Oh, it doesn't
I
matter.
forgot.
Does he die?
I don't remember.
In the fourth movie where
I don't.
Shia
Oh
LaBeouf?
God, I don't remember. I didn't even think about that.
I hope they cast Shia LaBeouf as Rick Jones. Everyone, thank you so much for being here.
The immortal normal.
The immortal normal. Rick Jones, not to be confused with Mike Jones. Rick Jones, I think, is cooler. Of the two, who do you like?
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones
Hands
is very
down.
cool. Mike is
Much
kind of
cooler.
a pain in the ass.
Rick
but he's
Jones
got
can
that
pull
yo-yo.
people through time.
Haribs brings up a very good point. And you finished Star Tropics. I probably asked you that twice already.
Yeah. I have beated the Zoda.
You have defeated and
I have
beated the Zoda.
the Zoda.
Star Tropics is edutainment because it teaches you it is not safe to go spelunking in an island until you can swim. Because we're going to talk to Iggy a little bit in about 5 minutes. I've got blueberry crumbs in my beard. I'm such a piece of shit. You gave me a blueberry muffin.
I didn't give you nothing. A strange man
that
came
alien
in
guy,
through that door.
strange man wanted to embarrass me by putting crumbs in my beard. Yeah.
It's really bad. The inertia. He's a very dense man.
Yeah.
He's extremely
Yeah.
dense and takes a
He's-
lot
yeah.
of force to get him moving. You have to really, you gotta mean it.
Once he's rolling, he's going.
But once he's
Especially if
rolling,
in
he's
the
good.
air.
Yeah,
Especially if he's jumping.
he can stop
all
on a
the way
dime
up
though,
and off.
but he can't jump more than 1 block. Or no, he can't jump more than 2 blocks.
I like that when he dies, he turns into like an actual angel and floats away.
It kind of reminds me of Cuphead.
You know what? As a matter of fact, like everything I've said, we're gonna do a little more research about Mike Jones and Star Tropics. We'll do a little bit of the history of Star Tropics at some
The
point.
mysteries of Mike Jones.
Because I'm really interested. I'm not sure exactly why. I'm so curious as to whether or not it's like
It literally has everything to do with the fact that he's a Jones.
Yeah. What was I? Something? Wait.
I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. I was going somewhere with something. Anyway, thank you for being here, everyone. It has been a lovely day and a lovely week. All kinds of stuff has been so awesome lately. You guys that tune in here on Friday nights, like I said, the next 4 weeks we're going to be doing something very similar to this. This has been our presentation about the Joneses. We're going to check in with Iggy in a moment and talk about Mike Jones in particular. We'll talk about Star Tropics a little bit.
Yeah, Iggy's the master on that.
And
but if you don't know Rick Jones by now,
if you don't know Rick and Mike Jones by now, I hope that you guys learned a little bit about Rick and or Mike Jones.
You got the Jones.
But we're going to be talking more about both of them. I do. I'm going to read that whole series of Captain Marvel comics. We're going to talk more about that Rick Jones. Excuse me. Oh my.
Yeah, considering the ideas that are in those stories, they're going to be.
But we're also going to
buckle your safety belts.
We're going to find out if anyone actually likes Mike Jones, and we're going to talk to those people as well.
Okay.
We're going to talk to Iggy some more. Maybe I'll play Star Tropics a little bit more, but it was very clunky. Oh God. I start getting overcome by these bubbles.
That was radioactive.
Oh no, radioactive blueberry muffin. But
what did you expect?
As always, thank you for tuning in. This is I can't believe people still talk to each other. This is what we're going to be doing Friday nights for the next 4 weeks. This is a little bit more about Mike Jones.
Woo! Mike Jones!
Break time.
What character can I not believe was never even mentioned in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Galactus.
Rick Jones. They were on
Force.
Life Force.
Life Force.
Interesting. Okay.
But not second. Second would be Star Tropics.
Yeah.
Star Tropics is a weird game. And actually, I can
You were
go
telling
through
me
a whole
that
bunch
you
of
almost
different games.
don't really remember that, though. You
I have no idea.
You have not played Star Tropics
The only thing
since
I
a
know
child.
about Star Tropics is that the main boss that like everybody, foreshadowing and looming doom that's coming to the world is Zoda.
Zoda. The second one is Zoda's Revenge.
Right, exactly. But,
This is about the nephew of Indiana Jones.
Fuck, what's that guy's name? Joe?
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
He's
Mike
in the
Jones.
Zelda randomizer.
Tropics 2, Star Tropics 2, Zoda's Revenge. At any rate, so Act 1, you're a kid. You would
Mike
like to be in high
Jones.
school, but he wants to make video games learn for him because that would be cool, right? That's
Yeah.
a cool idea. So he goes, you know what? I'm gonna travel through history, and I'm gonna learn about a little bit of history. I'm not gonna actually teach you things about history. I'm just gonna make important figures be there along the way. So we
So
go
we can
back in time.
pretend. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
like, I mean, I'm not gonna
Abraham
tell you
Lincoln
about-
is there.
You're
It's
not going to hear
educational.
about Carthage. You're only going to hear about Cleopatra. You're not going to hear about the fact that she was like the first like diva queen of the world, basically.
Yeah, you
who
didn't learn
basically-
anything about her. All you learned is that
like-
she takes your pizza.
The Stone Age to the Stone Age, right?
I remember
there's,
this.
like-
Yeah.
So you play through typical Star Tropics fashion, and eventually you keep finding Tetris pieces because Nintendo products all have to, relate to one another. And somehow, you find Tetris pieces. You find them throughout time, and eventually you find Sherlock Holmes in the second act.
Oh, that's very
And true-
educational.
Yeah. Well, you start getting arrested because like you're a kid going through time trying to like learn about edutainment. So,
That
like, I
that
don't know if
sounds
this
like.
is-
I mean, if I was the police, I would arrest that guy.
it's kind of like the point in class where somebody like at the end of Act 1, people are shooting spitballs at you to wake you up, and then like
Sure.
when you get to the Sherlock Holmes middle Act 2, where we're at here, you got Sherlock Holmes, and that's the teacher like telling you need to wake up or I'm going to like get you kicked out of class.
Sure.
So eventually you go through this haunted mansion and you find more tetrads, and eventually you learn that just like every good Nintendo game in the early 90s, it's about aliens, dummy.
Oh, of course.
So
it is.
you got to go stop the alien scum. And when you do this, you realize that the tetrads are the secret. Not that you had any control about like how any of them work. And what anyone loves in Star Tropics is like instead of an action scene, Act 3 is entirely you just walking through a maze trying to figure out how to get through the maze. And when you screw up the maze, you get an action sequence, which you think would be fun. Like it's like a random battle, right? Well,
Yeah.
random battles are basically meant to kill you. The enemies are terrible, and it's the exact same room every single time. And guess what? The entire room is traps. They pick all the other pieces, or you find the straight one at the end. And
Well,
like,
it would
doesn't
be. It would make
explode in
sense for it
inventory.
to be the last one.
They didn't even code like a long enough inventory, I think, to store all of the pieces. Like the last one, it knows you're good. They all
Now
go
you got
away.
them all. That's fine.
You got
Forget
'em
it.
all.
Yeah.
And there you go. That so
You
at
put
the end
the
of the
straight
day,
one in.
eventually you wake up. You're in class. You wake up, and you realize that your paper only has like the first 2 sentences written on it, and it's like, man, it'd be really cool if I could go back through time and save the past and the future from aliens with Tetris pieces.
Was
You
it
know,
all a dream, or was it a Japanese thing where the beginning and the end were one and the same, and he'll always be on this hero's journey? Obviously, a lot of placeholdery bullshit, but I want to specifically thank my most recent subscribers: Anorax10, Draco West, Ridley the Monster, Midori Skies, Bacon Bits, Substance P16, History Buff, ADR Jacko, Jess94588, PV Deluxe, Lunar Thunder Dragon, That One Black Guy, Thunderface, Pantoxical, Shawerv 1986, and Toronto ABC. Thank you to all of those people. I'm gonna have like a better thank you screen with credits and stuff, but those are the most recent subscribers.
They make it all possible.
Supporting the stream by subscribing or anything that you guys do is how we're able to do this. I put so much, all of that shit takes a ton of behind the scenes work and stuff.
Brought to you by viewers like you.
I've been working on this shit nonstop. We both have, and a lot of other people have. Thank you so much, everybody. You
Like,
were
not a
very,
what?
You were very upset when everyone turned into dust. I
Oh
recall.
yeah, no, I mean this has like been 10 years in the making. I was invested at this point.
You're not human if you don't feel something after 10 years of investment into these characters and then watching half of them die.
It was rough. That was a rough thing to have to sit and watch. Back in the 60s, this dude was driving around. Tell me when you know this dude's name. And this dude went running out onto the nuclear test range, and alarms and shit started going off, and Bruce Banner came running along, and he knocked the dude into a ditch. Who was the dude that he saved?
Oh man, I have no idea.
I don't like any of the Hulk storylines. I didn't even see the Hulk movies.
That guy was named Rick Jones. What was the name of the kid that he saved?
Biff.
It was Rick Jones.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds like a Biff to me.
He is a Biff. Rick Jones is a total Biff.
Yeah, he sounds like a Biff.
Rick Jones.
Yes.
Dude,
At one point,
I bet it was Rick Jones.
you're really good at this.
What kid?
The,
I don't know
the
any
kid, the kid that the Hulk was trying to save from the Gamma Bomb when he became the Hulk.
I don't know, James.
His name was Rick Jones.
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones. Good job. Okay.
Rick Jones.
That's right. You got one right.
He made of. Is he like having armor of fullerenes?
The Bucky?
Yeah, Bucky. It's also called the Bucky Ball.
Oh, like the thing that does this.
Yes, but very similar.
Yeah. No, Bucky was just a dork. So when Captain America gave some other dude Bucky's armor and started calling him Bucky,
Oh God.
what was that kid's real name? Not Bucky.
the kid's real name?
Yeah,
Oh, I have no idea.
it was Rick Jones.
I
Okay,
mean, I guess
This-
he's now turned into a rabbit too.
this guy was a man.
Oh,
He never
that's a
became
problem.
he never became a rabbit.
what was the question?
Who
What
was
did he
this? Is
become?
the new Bucky, Captain America? It's like if you had a friend that if I died and you took my red hoodie and you slapped it on one of your other friends and started calling that friend Koya. They were quantumly entangled. One of them was a teenage kid and he would slam his bracelets together. One has to be banished to like the negative zone. Quantumly entangled. Captain Marvel had to stay in the Negaverse where Ant-Man goes. Tremendous like cosmic energy, but there was some kind of accident when he put them on that his atoms got all quantumly entangled with a human dude, and he goes like Shazam. I don't know if he said that. He slaps his wrists together like in a cartoon and goes Shazam, and he'd go Shazam. It might not have been Shazam in Marvel. Quantum entangled with Captain Marvel.
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones, good job. You know a lot about Marvel. To replace the atoms of this kid in the real world. Do you know what that guy's name was?
I'm gonna say Rick Jones.
And Captain Marvel comes out of the Negaverse. What Marvel character wrote a novel called Sidekick?
Is it Rick Jones?
That's Rick Jones.
Oh, cool.
In an alternate timeline in the far future, who becomes the arch villain named Thanatos?
Could be Rick Jones.
That was Rick Jones too.
Guthrin McGillicuddy.
That was Rick Jones.
Is it Rick Jones?
Yeah, you got two right. You know who the Beyonder is?
No.
Who's that flamey guy?
The Human Torch.
Yes.
No, Rick Jones.
Oh God. There's just no way I'll know any of these answers.
His name is Rick Jones. The Beyonder was an intergalactic dick. But one time he did something nice. He met a guy with cancer and he used his cosmic powers to cure this dude's cancer. Who did the Beyonder cure the cancer of?
You want to guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Rick Jones.
Very good, Midori.
Rick Jones.
That's Rick Jones, correct. You got one right.
It's got to be Rick Jones. Is it not Rick Jones?
It's Rick Jones. The answer to the next 5 questions is Rick Jones. What character am I unable to believe has not even been mentioned in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Oh, that's definitely Rick Jones.
That is
he hasn't shown up once.
motherfucking Rick Jones. Okay, that kid's name was Rick Jones.
Damn it! If I find you, Rick Jones, I'm coming for you. I'm coming.
There was this some villain came along that had I wish I had written down the villain's name here, but he had like he had some kind of chaos deal was part of his shtick that he was causing chaos. One time he came down and there was a guy that had cancer and the Beyonder was like, "You're too important to all these timelines. The boss says I gotta cure you of your cancer." Who got cured of cancer by the Beyonder?
Well, you just had like it's all these like the Hulk. I mean, it's got to be Rick Jones.
Why is it always Rick Jones?
I wouldn't be too surprised if we were all filled with tiny men. doing various
Just with
sinister-
the
just hired by the government, just flying
like
around
the,
in there.
the
shooting it.
skyscraper guys that do the windows. The window
Yeah,
wash.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
just got little
I'm
window
sure.
washers cleaning off your cells.
We've all got
the
maintenance dudes in there that we don't know
squeezing
about,
all the
fucking
water back into your
whispering the wrong ideas to us while we're asleep. But anyway, the Hulk is green. The guy that says
Yes.
sometimes you eat the bar and sometimes the bar eats you, that guy's red, and the Thing is orange. But the Hulk was out there on the nuclear testing range shoving a teenage greaser into a ditch so that the greaser did not get irradiated. What was that guy's name?
I gotta go Rick Jones.
Rick Jones. All right, so I'm glad you know a little bit about Rick Jones now. What Marvel character became turned into a creature much like the original Abomination and began calling himself A-Bomb?
Rick Jones.
That's Rick Jones, correct. You got one right.
One of the red guys.
That's a red guy, but the Red Hulk is the guy that.
That's the Thing. The red guy.
The Thing is orange.
Is he really orange?
Yeah, he's made out of orange rock.
I mean, comic books are old. They kind of get faded, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
The difference between orange
If you
and
were
red.
like, well, we had an argument, not an argument, but we had a discussion about whether or not the crystal that switches the red, the blue, and orange blocks in Link to the Past.
This
the
involves the
switches?
Incredible Hulk. How? What is?
All right, that was Rick
It's gonna
Jones.
be even harder. Is this gonna be a bunch of questions about Rick Jones?
I don't
was gonna
know.
Guess Rick Jones is the next question.
Bowser from Sha-Na-Na.
It was Rick Jones, but that's an awesome answer.
Rick Jones?
Yeah, that's Rick Jones. In an alternate timeline, who became the villain Thanatos in the far future?
I want to say Biff, but I think it's Rick Jones.
That's Rick Jones too. He did a lot of stuff.
Oh, you told me the answer.
Yeah,
it's
I
the
did.
same guy.
Yeah.
It's the same guy that's in Incredible Hulk. You can't Stan Lee me through like that's like watching a comic book movie and Stan Lee shows up. You know he's gonna be there. Am I about to be Rick Jones this whole thing?
Shit, that's gonna have to be how do you Rick Jones somebody? There's
No,
gonna be
you're
a
Rick
whole
Jonesing
new.
me right now.
That's
You-
what I've
you-
been doing. I've been calling
you-
everyone up and Rick Jones rolling them.
Rick Jones. It's not even right. It's just Rick Jones in them. You're
Rick
jonesing around.
Jones. It's like that guy from Star Troopers.
It's Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.